G'day viewers, how they hanging? Peter here. Well, it's another 40-degree day here in Melbourne, Australia. I'll just give you a quick look out. It's a lovely day actually. It really is quite beautiful here, but it is a bit fucking hot. Anyway, I'm continuing on with the DCM time windows story, and it's official. It's official. I'm a fuckwit. I'm a dickhead. It's my fault, and I've sorted out the speaker issue. But yeah, I truly am a fuckwit. So no wonder this page, this video is called Aussie Morons. Let's come in and have a look. Well, first off, I'll just show you a couple of things, because I haven't quite put it back together yet, but I have sorted out and I know what's going on. So this is the little crossover, and it's a fairly simple first order crossover, and the components I'm thinking about changing, these, can you see these two capacitors that are stacked one on top of the other? That is two 47 microfarad notch capacitors, and there's no circuit board or anything, so all the wiring's loose, as you can see. And I'm contemplating changing them, although there's no apparent reason that I can see or hear. But anyway, so that's going on with the crossover. And then when I come to reassembling it, the last time you saw this, I had one of the tweeters out, and then I put it all back together and put the grills and everything back on. Now, reassembling the sock, the first thing, you've got this elastic sort of material, which is a bit stretchy, and then underneath that is another type of material, and I'm not certain, but my best guess is this is simply exists to round the corners off a little bit on just to knock the sharp edges off, I think, because I can't really see any other purpose. Now, my first thought about gluing this back up, as you can see, I've glued this up. I haven't glued the sock up yet. My first thought, I'd get some white PVA glue and mix it with water in a very dilute fashion to hold this down, just so you can assemble it. But I thought that because I don't want it, I want it to glue to hold it for a time, but I don't want it to be very strong, because if you've got to remove it in the future, you're going to have all manner of trouble. So first off, I thought it was a very weak mix of PVA glue and water, but then I thought PVA glue is quite hard. So then I thought, well, perhaps some contact adhesive, and again with a solvent, with thinners or something, and dilute that down till it's very weak. And then you'd be able to peel it off in the future if need be. But then I thought, well, fucking hell, I've got a Yoo-hoo stick here, and Yoo-hoo is just child's glue, and it's yeah, I'm sure I'll be able to. I'm sure that in the future I could peel this off if need be. And so I'm going to assemble it with Yoo-hoo, and then tomorrow I'll just pull this up and around the corner, and then once you clamp all of this together, I'm going to put a bit of Loctite. Actually, I've got some Loctite there, as you can see. So I'll put a bit of Loctite on there, assemble it all together, and the Yoo-hoo will hold it together until the ends are clamped on, and that should be okay. Now, the reason I've done all of that is because upon testing all four drivers in there, I couldn't find a fault. So silly me, I thought, what about if I change the amplifier? So I went out in the shed. Actually, I can get rid of this. I went out in the shed and got my old teac ag6500. Beautiful old amplifier. Look at it. You can see it's covered in dust from being in the shed. I mean, look at this. I've been listening to this poor old thing in my shed. It's covered in dust and shit. Look at the cobwebs on it. And Anyway, long story short, I hooked the speakers up to my teac ag6500 and they sound beautiful. The left and right speaker are fine. So there is a problem with this amplifier. I'm going to disconnect the preamp and power amp stage, and that'll tell me whether it's I'll just use some short RCA plugs, and that will tell me if the fault is in definitely the left hand channel. You get that scratchy sound. Now I don't know if it's in the preamp or the power amp, but I have a friend Ian who's very smart. He's smarter than me, and he'll be able to fix it, whatever's broke. And so I'll work out if it's in the preamp or power amp, but it's definitely the left-hand channel, and the scratchy sound, I don't know if you heard it. No, I didn't play it because you're not going to hear it through a mobile phone, are you? And so what I can tell you is the speakers were not faulty. It was the amplifier, but I bought both of them second hand. I bought the speakers on the Saturday and I bought the amplifier on the Monday, and the amplifier was faulty. My fault, I'm an idiot. No wonder this is called Aussie Morons. And yeah, I fucked up big time. So, but at least I've learned a little bit about these speakers anyway, and my daughter will be happy, I'm sure. But I did go through, because I was talking about these DCM squared speakers that I bought about 1985, I think, and I was going through my records and I found some stuff, so I thought, oh, I might just go down memory lane. If anyone's had enough, just switch off the video now. But I was talking about the first thing I saved up. I started working when I was 15 years old at the Williamstown Naval Dockyard as an apprentice, and I was on $55 a week. And I worked and saved really hard. And if you can see here, I went to a place in Melbourne called Sound City on the 16th of the 6th in 1976. Okay, I thought it was 75. Okay. All right, well, 76. Okay, so I was wrong there. But as you can see, I bought a Scott A436, some ESS AMT5As, and some Dynaco A25s. Anyway, it cost $950. Now, if you're earning $55 a week, it takes you a long time. I think I was paying $20 a week board to my mum, I think. It takes you a long time to save up $950. That was a lot of money. You could probably buy a house for $20,000 or something. So anyway, what I bought was, you can see here, ESS AMT5A speakers, and they had the heel, I don't know if you can see in this photo, see the rectangular sort of, was this iron thing. They sounded good. They were very good speakers actually, and they weren't cheap. Anyway, so I bought them, and I bought the Dynaco A25 XLs, as you can see there. And then I got this lovely book. This is a really nice amplifier actually. It's only one of those cheap, I think it was made in Taiwan or Korea, was it? Really nice amp actually. Where was it? It had power meters on the front. I don't know if you can see here. It had rack handles and as much switching as you'd ever want to see. Remember, I might have been telling you could have reverse stereo and right channel through both, left channel through both channels through both. Just a really beautiful amplifier for the money and for the time and the income I was on. And I had that stereo for about 10 years, and I've still got, I mean, out in the shed, I've still got the A25 XLs. I've still got bits of it. And then we come to the DCM time windows. So this, I'll get to the date. Oh, actually, here we go. So when did I buy these? The 4th of January 1986, I bought these. And Actually, if I run into the house, the first thing I saw was an ad for, this might be interesting to somebody, this was an ad from an audio section of the newspaper, and as you can see it was a shop called Ensol in Bridge Road, Richmond. And where's the date? I'm looking for the date. As you can see, it was the green guide, so the 9th of January 1986. And they're having a top end bargains. And if you look, can you see that line? DCM time window, well, they got 11, but it's 2. Normal price is 4,998. They got them for 2,900. And that's what caused me to go to the shop. So I went to the shop and auditioned. I'd actually seen them on a show called Sale of the Century a few months before. Anyway, so I went there. Now this is a brochure for the ones, not the 1As. But anyway, so here's the, this is what came with the speakers, the printed instructions. And it tells you a little bit about them, and as you can see, it's got little, it's typed on a typewriter, which you don't see anymore. Now, I don't know whose handwriting this is, but somebody has obviously given you drawings about setting up the room. But possibly the most interesting bit is the head unit there, and the 5 trim pots I've talked to you about. They have about, it's talking about the trim pots there, and they got at about a 2 dB range. And one trim pot is level overall, which oddly enough is exactly the same as the bottom pot here that's user serviceable. So I'm not sure why they've got 2 trim pots there. And then the next one is the tweeter, 12K to 20K, and then the tweeter 8 to 12.5. The next one is mid-range time domain compensation at 3 kilohertz. I don't know what that means. You'd have to reverse engineer that. And the other one was mid-range level at 2.4 kilohertz. So the other one's just levels. I don't know what that means. And I think, as I said, there's a whole chain of capacitors, because I think, how are you going to get a time delay with analog equipment? I don't know. And this is like, you know, in the 1970s. Well, the other thing I still got the original, how's this? I got the original warranty cards, and you can see there I've got serial number 552 and 551. I'm pretty sure these serial numbers didn't go up in units. I think they went up in 50s. So I think the one below was 500 and the one above was 600, and this one's 550, I think, but I haven't seen enough to know. All right, so what else did I buy? 1155 preamp and the famous NAD 2200 power tracker, and I got 2 of those. Yeah, and then this one, I bought a Luxman CD player. You can see the speakers were 2,900. What was that? Oh, the cable was $100. The banana plugs were 32. Yeah, but I got that on the 4th of January, 86. So that was my experience buying hi-fis. I've really only had 2 hi-fis in my entire life. I bought the one when it would have been about 16 in 1986. So I bought that one. I saved up me $55 a week, and I've still got parts of that. I've got a Garrett P77 cartridge, and that's a story in itself. The 2 blokes, best cartridge you could buy probably, with a not a micro scanner, what was it called? Micro tracker elliptical diamond on it. And yeah, the 2 blokes lived down in Tasmania, the 2 brothers, and they ended up in a pact. They killed themselves together in a pact of some sort. But no, if you ever get a chance, buy a Garrett P77. If you got vinyl, it's worth it. And then so I had one stereo when I was 16, and then one when I got married. I was about 26. And that's the only two stereos I've ever had my whole life. I've still got them. I still enjoy them. And I really do love me time windows. So I hope my daughter will enjoy them too. So see you later.